Good evening, this is the Planning Board meeting of February 4th, 2014, here in the Carver Town Hall, Room 1. Let's see, under old business, we have meetings at 7:15. Oh, if we could please stand to Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. See, we have meetings at 7:15 and 7:30, so we'll go on to new business. We have a receipt of plans, Norfolk Power Equipment for a minor modification, 45 and 47 North Main Street. Discussion and possible vote.
I think we're gonna have to table this again. I left them a message. Now, I will say our phones were down today. I called them on my cell phone and gave them my cell number. I'd like to table that and see if they show up again.
Okay. Okay, we have a receipt of plans and possible endorsement for Clark Griffith, Form A, 247B Tremont Street.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'm gonna excuse myself because of conflict. I'm one of the people involved on it.
Good evening.
Good evening, Brian Grady with GAF Engineering, here for Mr. Griffith. Folks have plans?
Yeah, they do somewhere. Here they are.
We also have a small plan in our packet.
Now, this one you were going to receive at the last meeting and it got snowed out. So, because there's a statute of limitations on this, I asked you to consider endorsement tonight.
It's a fairly straightforward, we're not creating a lot, a buildable lot. All we're doing is creating a parcel. Parcel A consisting of 1,835 square feet, and that's to be combined with the existing lot next door, Lot 11. The remaining area for this lot, which is the former Benjamin Ellis School, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, is 30,011 square feet. That's Lot 8. And actually, Lot 7 is under the same ownership as well. That's another 5,693 square feet. So there are no new lots to be created, just the parcel taken out of Lot 8 combined with Lot 11 and the adjacent property.
It looks pretty straightforward to me. Have minimum square footage is 30,000, and you have 11 square feet over that, so that meets with the zoning bylaws. So, anybody have any questions?
Motion to endorse?
So we have a motion to endorse. Would you like to second that?
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The Mylar is right over there. If you three would sign that, we can do the other ones after the meeting. You'll take the Mylar, Brian?
Take this.
That was easy. No, you gotta sign it. That's fine. Yep.
Don't demolish them.
I don't know what happened. Norfolk Power. Yes, absolutely. I'm not gonna build it now anyway. They can wait. I left them a message.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
No, that's the Mylar pen.
We'll do the paper copies after the meeting. Grab Will when you go out there. Thanks.
Thank you.
See if he wants to come back.
Next, under new business, we have a receipt of plans, Anthony Alonjay, special permit, dwelling units above commercial, 40 North Main Street. Discussion and possible vote.
Really was gonna only ask you to set up a public hearing. As you know, Mr. Alonji has several units now above it, and he wants to add some more. So we'll need to have a public hearing. I
Okay.
certainly want the building department and the Board of Health to look at this to make sure the septic and the well can handle it. I have not looked at the plans he submitted, but we're gonna need, and we go through this exercise every time, Anthony, we're gonna need a site plan that shows me how much parking you have. You have it there. You gonna leave it with me? Oh, we have that. Very good.
All right, so this one here,
So again, this isn't the hearing, but
just a receipt of
those are the
plans.
things I'd be looking for, as we always do.
All right, if you'd like to speak, tell us what you plan on doing, or what would you like to do?
Located on number 40 North Main Street, unit number 5 and 6. Right now, there used to be an attorney's office up there occupying 2 units. So we'd like to turn those 2 units into residential. It has no means of handicap access to the second floor whatsoever. So it'd be more suitable to keep the place somewhat active with residents. Because a commercial business right now in that area where I am right now, I got 4 units right now empty downstairs for a while. And to have 2 more upstairs, it's just not gonna work for me. So we're trying to convert all top floors with the permission of the board, that we try to convert the whole top floors as a residential as we go along and we go through these units. There's adequate parking. There's 2 means of egress in each unit. There's, how can I put it? Other necessities to rent it out as a unit. So I'd like to go forward to do that. We have, we also, at this time, we have 3 residential units on the property on the second floor. So we'd just like to add 2 more for now. And then later on, we'd like to add 2 more again, and that'll be the end of the residential on the second floor.
All right,
Well, Mr. Chair, just a couple things.
sure.
Just for when we get to that process, things to look at. I don't know if we looked at this before, or maybe you can refresh my memory. The septic will be 1. Just to make sure that that's all right. Parking, obviously.
Well-
Those are 2 of the big ones. I think that it's great that you're doing that. We've asked for this for many years, and you seem to be getting there, so I think that's a good thing. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up, I know it has nothing to do with this, but you are the landlord. The gentleman that is doing the used car sales,
Yes.
who's been parking out front, has been brought to our attention from many people in town, plus I've driven by many a times that he's showing them out front. And I know that during our hearing with that gentleman, we had told him, on the side of the building, he was gonna put them. Maybe you can address that with.
That issue has been
With that.
addressed. Thank you.
Okay, great. That's the only things that I can see with this. Anthony's done this before with us, so.
The only question I have, Anthony, is this gonna be in any way alter your plans? I mean, I know that you couldn't go, but you had your lawyer, an engineer come to the local housing partnership about a possible 40B.
Well, the situation with that is I would like to wait till the town water comes in. Because as we were talking to them and trying to lay things out, if there's no town water there, then we end up putting tanks, we end up putting all kinds of generators and to comply. And right now, I'm not in a position to do that with all these vacant units. So
Yeah,
I would like
talk to
to
him about
address that at the time when the water comes into the town in that area. And then we could talk about, then we go forward with that.
Okay.
But the main concern I had was the sprinkler systems and the 5,000, 10,000 gallon reserve, and also the generators that need to do that. So there's quite a bit involved into that. And it's very costly and a lot of time involved. So it's gonna take time. But, as soon as I can if we get the top units, rented out as residential as time progresses, what I'd like to do, and I seem to talk to Jack one time, I mentioned to him, I would like to do downstairs, I'd like to have units downstairs for elderly or older people downstairs. That's what I would like to do. But supposedly, if there's commercial downstairs, you cannot turn it into residential. But right now, there's no commercial in that section of the building whatsoever.
You know,
There
it's
is
not
no
the
residential
use,
there
it's the
whatsoever.
zone that doesn't allow it.
But that needs to be, I would appreciate if the board would like to bring that to attention to do that, and that'd be good to help out people 55 and over, or older gentlemen or women or whatever, for that area, because its first floor is handicap accessible, and it'd be a good position to do that at that time. You know?
And you
To me,
feel,
it doesn't matter if it's commercial or residential, as long as, people are using it, and there's a space right now, it's empty, nobody's using it, there's people out there looking for housing. Elderly people are losing their houses right now, and it'd be a perfect place for them to settle in. That was my thought of that.
so you feel that there's a demand for residential use for,
Yes, there is, yes.
yeah,
You know, now the 3 people that I have living there right now, the residents living there right now, they're all single parents. There's 2 guys and 1 woman, and she's a nurse. They occupy the 3 units they occupy, individually, obviously. But that's what I like to aim at. You know, with hardship these days, that'd be the perfect solution that I would think to help them out, and also keep the place full. I think that would work out for everybody. And the town, I looked at it online, this town here doesn't have too many residents available.
No, we don't.
Doesn't have any, so, here I am, I'm sitting there with an empty building, with 4 units empty right now, on the first floor, and, the people wanna, they wanna rent them or whatever, they can't do nothing,
Yeah.
unless they open up a business, so,
all right, well, so we just have to look at the septic and the water and the parking and,
We'll have I'm gonna suggest you have the hearing on March 4th at,
from today,
pardon me?
month from today.
Yeah.
Month from
I
today.
guess so, yes, at 7:15.
I'd like to schedule the,
Public hearing.
public hearing for Mr. Alonje on March 4th at 7:15.
give a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, those in favor? Aye.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you,
I'll see you by Thursday.
I will, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, have a good night.
Okay, thank you. We still have a couple of minutes before 7:15. Do we want to go to the approval of the minutes?
No,
No? No?
there aren't
Take-
any.
Oh, there aren't any minutes? Oh, I guess we can't do that then.
You can do F and G.
Do we have any planning board notes?
I only have one, Mr. Chair. It's just to give an update to the residents on another hat that I wear. North Carver Water District has been meeting quite a bit on the financial issues that have been going on with the district. We've been meeting with our financial team, working on that. I know that the FinCom made a site visit out there this past Saturday to view the plant. I encourage the residents to, if they have any questions or anything like that, come to us. We're an open door, open book. Everything's out there for everybody to see. And fortunately, we have new town administrator that has a valuable assets towards the water district that should be able to give us some direction. A new town accountant, which has been very helpful. So as we move forward with new faces, new views, I think it's essential that the public gets involved and stay involved with us. We'll be reaching out quite a bit. So if anybody has any questions, please come to our meetings. They're open for everybody to view. We're getting ready to, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, bring a presentation to the Board of Selectmen. Let them know where we stand. So that's where we're at. I just want everybody to be aware that we're working very hard to look at the numbers, look at where we're at, and hide no avenues. We haven't hidden anything from day one. So, I just want people to be aware of that.
All right, thank you, Bill. Well, it is a little after 7:15, so we could go to the public hearing continuation for 80 Makepeace solar project on Federal Road Special Permit Site Plan Review. Discussion and possible vote.
In your packet, before they start, Mr. Chairman, you'll see, this will work. You'll see a response from Beals and Thomas to all the comments that we heard at the original hearing. Of course, this got postponed due to weather. And then, for discussion later on, you'll see a draft decision for your perusal.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jim Kane. I'm with the 88 Piece Company. With me this evening is Sarah Stearns from Beals and Thomas and Richard Cirque, our counsel. As Jack just outlined for you, our last hearing unfortunately was canceled because of that snowstorm. Since that time, or rather, during the time prior to that, we actually worked out, I believe, any of the outstanding issues with the town, and primarily it was one from the fire department that asked for an additional gate and the ability to drive around the solar field. In conversations with the chief and the deputy, we added 3 additional gates for a total of 4 gates to ensure that they have a high level of access from various points. And we also were able to provide a driveway to their specifications that just about drives around the entire facility, but more to the point, allows them many points of access and ease of access within the solar field. And they have documented their concurrence and agreement with the submittal. I don't believe there are any other outstanding issues from a technical standpoint. We have submitted for your consideration a draft decision, and obviously if there are any other questions this evening, we're here to try to answer them.
So, you said that Sean won't be here tonight, but everything was,
Everybody signed off on this. We were ready
Okay.
to vote on, at the last 2 weeks ago.
okay,
I will say that, council did draft this. I added some of your general conditions that you normally put on these, and it looks ready to go. Kathy gave it her final approval this afternoon.
and this complies with all the
This is a hearing.
the zoning bylaws that we have regarding solar panel
Oh, yeah.
projects.
Mr. Chair,
Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Chair, through you, maybe we can have them give a brief overlay for the public mostly. What changes were addressed on the map, they can show them up there.
Certainly.
That way we have a better view for the people at home.
Certainly. This is the same plan that was used at our earlier hearing off of Federal Road, south of the landfill. A gate will be added at the southerly end of it, right in the middle. We're adding another gate right here, Sarah? And then one to get back in. Oh, I'm sorry, block everything.
Okay, yes, per coordination with our Jermaine, Deputy Chief at the Fire Department, Sarah Stearns for the record, we will be adding another gate on the southern limits. There is a gate and a turnout as requested by the Fire Department along this edge, a wider turning radius here that's gated, and of course the main gate. And you'll just note slightly different turning radii that were expanded on based on our coordination with the Fire Department.
And I do recall one of the things they had to get around was how to get this road with the retention basin, but they seem to.
Yes, it made more sense with the grade of the site to keep the road close to the fence as opposed to going further beyond the basin. It just, you know, and everybody was in agreement with that as well. But other than that, in terms of the layout, nothing had changed from what you last saw.
I think we achieved their objective of multi-points of access and the ability to drive and turn various pieces of equipment around. And just as we did in Wareham, when we're underway with this, we'll periodically invite them out, or they can come out on their own and see how things are going. And before we finish, we'll bring a piece of equipment out and they can do whatever they want to do to make sure all the turning radiuses or radii, whatever the right word is, actually radii, Jack says, actually works in practical life.
Yeah.
Just like we
And
do
I
anything
know
else.
with speaking with the deputy chief on the Purchase Street project, probably in the last 3 weeks or so, when I sat down with him and the chief, just for the public's information, their concern on multiple access and total 360 is basically for getting emergency vehicles into the site, EMS, in case there's a worker out there working, there's an issue, they can get there quick. So
Yeah,
it's
no
more
one-
public safety,
No one ever does get hurt at the front gate.
never.
So we quickly understood their point, and that's why he's now got 1, 2, 3, 4 areas around the facility and a driveway to his specification.
That's great. I'm all set.
As am I. So you all, any questions? One of the questions we always get is about the lighting. What kind of lighting is there?
We're
What do
not
you
planning
have out there?
any lighting other than the minimum amount of, like, a light at the front gate that will be activated by motion. There'll be no street lighting throughout. There'll be no extra lighting involved.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If there's anybody out there that would like to speak or have a question, sure, come up, state your name and
Come on up,
address.
Jen.
and-
You gotta take the mic, Jen.
Jem Bogart, 116 Cranberry Road. You probably discussed it at the last hearing. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Just a quick question about the construction of the solar farm. I'm wondering what the timeline's going to be and how Cranberry Road would be impacted if there's going to be any extra traffic or trucks on Cranberry Road.
Currently, the site in Wareham, if this is the site in Carver, the site in Wareham under construction is right here. The deliveries are coming up off of 195-25 of the racking systems and the panels. They're coming up right there. We believe, and we can certainly tell the contractor to continue that practice so they come up and right in. In terms of other truck traffic, I really don't see any. Our current plan, given the amount of sand we're currently using for ag sanding, is most of this material will stay within our farm. To the extent any of it leaves the farm, we've already made the commitment that will, of course, go to the earth removal board, as we do when we have material that leaves the parcel, and seek their permission for that. But currently, we see this being a replacement sand stock for agricultural sanding, as well as possible cover for the landfill. So I don't see traffic going up this way in any way, shape, or form.
So Jen, the construction truck traffic will come from Wareham, and after it's built, it's a pickup truck a month.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned about it, being in existence. It's a great place for it. I was just concerned about any added traffic during the construction phase.
We know Jen because she's the chairperson of the bike path committee, right, Chad?
Looking at long-term for the bikes.
Who's watching Madison? That's what I wanna know.
Yeah, Sean, he asked if, he should be, she makes notes.
Any other questions? This is a public hearing, so we gotta, if we have a motion.
Make a motion to close the public hearing, Mr. Chair.
A second?
Second.
Have a motion, the second, to close the public hearing. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now, entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the solar project for AD Makepeace Company on Federal Road. With, do you have the conditions?
They're in the decision, the draft decision.
Which is this
No.
packet I was reading.
You got it right there.
The proposed conditions that have been outlined for us and what we have here.
Second.
We have a motion, the second, to approve. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
As part of this, you'll see on the agenda, Mr. Chair, there's also a rescission of the Kiko River Estate subdivision. This was done before me. I'm gonna ask council to kind of talk a bit about what this was and why we're doing this. If you don't mind, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
For the record, Richard M. Surkey for AD Makepeace Company. There was an underlying subdivision plan that was recorded in the early part of the 21st century on mostly all of the Makepeace properties. It was a so-called freeze plan. It was designed to freeze the zoning for 8 years under the statute in the event that zoning changes might impact the use of the property. These plans were plans that showed small cul-de-sacs and large lots. And as I say, the purpose of the plans was to freeze the zoning. No lots were ever deeded out based on those plans. The roads were never built. And because the solar field will sit on a lot that's inconsistent with that underlying freeze plan, we see no reason at this point to keep it on the record, and so we're asking that the freeze plan approval be rescinded. You can rescind the approval of a subdivision plan without noticing it as a public hearing, provided that there were no lots ever deeded out according to the plan, and no lots were, and provided that there is no mortgage on the property, and there is no mortgage. So I have prepared and sent to Jack, and I think he's distributed to you, a proposed vote of rescission of that underlying plan.
It's good to get these things off the books.
No, thank you for that explanation.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to rescind the Kiko River Estates residential subdivision. Covenants reference book 22460, page 135 of the AD Makepeace Company.
Second.
Have a motion and second for the subdivision rescission. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I am gonna ask you to sign this rescission now. Do they have the original? Of the rescission? Right, that's what I meant, the new one. Yeah, have them sign that now, and then council can notarize it and record it. That has to be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. The decision that you made tonight on the solar, I can have you sign after the meeting, and I'll record it with the clerk. Okay. Makes sense, yeah. Barring no weather.
It's gonna rain.
No, Kathy K just told me it's gonna be Thursday. I know who's-
Absolutely.
Yeah. Happily.
You?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Mr. Chairman, Norfolk Power is here now. What's that? He's gonna give it to us.
So that was,
Do you want to do the, should we do a public hearing for crop productions?
That's
It's
probably a
7:30.
good idea.
oh, Norfolk, oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good evening.
I know. It's been good.
What do we want to do? Do you want to, we could do,
7:30, we should do a continued public
Public
hearing,
hearing.
Mr. Chair.
all right, being 7:30, we have a public hearing continuation for crop production services, special permit site plan review for a warehouse retail space.
Well, the good news is we are very close with this, and I was hoping we'd have a hearing tonight. But two things, one, Kevin can't vote on this because he missed the first hearing, and you need 4, and Rosemary's on vacation, so that means we have to continue. The good news is that we are close, and 2 weeks will easily be done. Sean needed some changes done, and they called me today and weren't ready, and I said, well, that's fine, because I just found out
Okay.
Rosemary's not gonna be here anyway.
So it worked out well.
So it worked out well.
All right.
So
What do you
I'll
got
need
for
that continued
continuance?
to February 18th at 7:15.
Make a motion to continue the public hearing for crop production services to February 18th at 7:15, Mr. Chair.
Need a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor? All right, so now we go to, under new business, receipt of plans for Norfolk Power Equipment minor modification, 4547 North Main Street.
Hey, Jeff. Good, we finally got you in here. We were worried.
Made it just
You get
before
my
the
phone call today?
snowstorm.
Well, I'll wait till we start. We'll work it out, I think. I don't see, oh, okay, yep.
Shall I dive right in?
Sure, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you'll hear what he wants to do, and then I have some correspondence to go through.
For the record, my name's Jeff Hassett. I'm one of the engineers at Morse Engineering. We're here for a request for a minor modification to a site plan. The property is 45 and 47 North Main Street. We originally filed this project back in March of 2013, and it's under construction right now. If you drive by, they have the building framed. I think the windows are in now. They did not get it paved before the winter, but they have most of the utilities in, the drainage is in. The building is a 14,000 square foot building. There's associated parking around the building, a septic system in the front, infiltration in the system for drainage in the back, as well as other underground electric and the usual utilities. The front of this building is going to be retail for Norfolk Power Equipment, as well as offices. In the back, they can drive in and drive out the other side for equipment repair. They were planning on putting a wash facility within the building, but what we filed now is a minor modification, and the work is for an accessory building. It's only 20 feet by 30 feet, and it's an equipment wash building. They'll drive in one end and drive out the other. This building, the washing facility the floor will slope to the middle where there'll be a catch basin or a grate. It'll collect all the water, filter it, and reuse it for washing. So therefore, there is a water service, but that's only to replace any lost water from evaporation. Maybe a vehicle pulls out and it's still dripping a little bit. So very minor water use. It is not connected to the septic system. On occasion, they may have to replace the water. When that has to be done, it would be like pumping a septic tank. A truck will come in, pump it out, and dispose of it in accordance with whatever regulations apply to them. There is an increase in impervious area, therefore we filed updated drainage calculations. We didn't have to revise the size of the infiltration basin. It was a little bit oversized and was big enough to accommodate it. The roof runoff will be captured in gutters, and then we'll go to a dry well, which is back here, which was originally proposed. If that ever overtops, I think it does in the 100-year storm, it will go into the infiltration basin. The added impervious for the driveway here and here will go to a catch basin, which was already proposed here, and then it goes to the infiltration basin as well. We're not proposing any work within the 100-foot buffer zone to the wetland, so we don't have to go to conservation for this modification. Prior to the last hearing, I spoke to Bob Tinkham. His concerns had to do with the how much water it would use and whether it would have to be connected to the septic, so we were able to talk about that. I also spoke to Sean Martin before that meeting, and he had similar concerns as those two. His other concerns were building lighting. He wants to make sure that if there are any lights on this building, that they have cutoffs, which Yes, they will. And then his other concern is these parking spaces here, whether a car can maneuver out and not hit the building. A typical parking aisle is 24 feet wide, which is what we're providing. So a car should be able to maneuver out of there. His other question was, we moved the gate so that it kind of hit the corner of the building. And his concern is, if a car was parking here, would it be able to maneuver out of that space and turn around? And if the gate was shut, it would have to back all the way out. However, that gate is more for when the business isn't open for security. So during regular business hours, that gate will be left open and it won't be an issue. I think that summarizes the issues.
If I may, because our phones were dead today, and I called Jeff on my cell, but Sean gave me this, and I was away last week, and maybe you can address the two items that are in your packet.
Is that the proper notice? Because this is addressed to the solar system.
It is?
Oh, is that the one I?
We're good.
I have it down Tuesday.
We're gonna get the correct one.
Do you have a design view of the building?
I do. I have a copy of here, I'll pass it around. That was submitted, and it's a pretty simple design, intended to match the existing building. Masonry walls, steel roof. There's an elevation on the way it is.
Oh, that's it right here. That's the floor plan.
And what exactly is the system that they're gonna use for filtration, for separating, the gas and the oil that's gonna come off of the machinery that gets power washed?
That I'm not really aware of what product it is. I think it's a pre-manufactured thing. I think the architect does call it. Does the architect call it out on the planning?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, thank you.
But that would be something that would be up to code with the Board of Health, right?
Well, it's something we need to talk about, I think.
Definitely.
I thought, I'm jumping around a little now, it caught me off guard. Well, if you look at the Board of Health's comments in the second sentence, secondly, where's the runoff from the equipment wash area going? That's what you're asking, I believe. And how is it separated? So, you said from the runoff from the actual wash area is going where?
Within the building, the floor pitches to the center of the slab.
Like a lot of these do, yeah.
And there's a grate there, so it's collected there, and then it's filtered and pumped back up to the
How's it
reuse.
filtered?
It's a pre-manufactured filter system.
And what does it filter out the grease? I think that's what he's asking.
Grease.
The oil and gas.
Oil and gas on that, not grease.
I just wanna make sure that it's something that's definitely up to code and will be accepted.
Yeah.
Because there will be, there could be possibly some seepage and wanna look into
Was
the
it the same
tank
system
that they
being
use.
used in the original building?
I'm not aware of that. I guess when they go for a building permit, will that be reviewed at that time? Or it could be a condition?
We're
that-
gonna have to condition it.
Condition that it's a system that removes solids, sand, and also
Well,
oil
it's
and grease.
separator, I mean, like you would, on a, what am I thinking of? A grease trap or a catch basin.
Something with with baffles
Yeah,
and tees.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely can be done, I just don't know what product they're
All right,
they're planning
so
on using.
drainage, equipment, water, drainage meets Board of Health requirements.
And this letter is the one that I spoke to Sean about before the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, the first comment, specify the type of building mounted lighting to ensure that is full cutoff. We're not proposing, this building doesn't interfere with the other lights that were proposed.
So it's,
But if they do put any wall-mounted lights on this building, they will be cut off. The size and type of the equipment, size and types of equipment will be cleaned in the wash building. It'll be equipment that can come in a typical garage door. They service small tractors, lawn mowers, that type of stuff primarily. And then we talked about the building that abuts it. These parking spaces here and how Carver will be
Right,
with the building
I'm
and the
fine
fence.
with that.
That's item number 3.
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to Jack, and maybe to the applicant. Did we run this by Concom?
No.
You're increasing the
Outside
pervious material
It's outside of their,
jurisdiction? All right, so we're good there.
Yep.
So I guess really the biggest hangup is pre-existing to the proposal there of the building being located there. I noticed that the snow storage areas there, what was the snow storage on our pre-approval? Is that cutting into where that snow storage area was?
They were going to utilize more
Oh,
area
there.
for snow storage. I do have that plan, the previous plan here.
That would be great.
So we were utilizing that whole area for snow storage. I had to trunk the cave that we used to provide snow storage here and here.
In those two areas that you're showing now is still part of, you're taking away from the potential of the snow storage area.
I am.
Did you increase the area outside of that? In other words, where you're taking place in the building, that area was designated as snow storage. Have you allowed it to go in a different location, or we just subtract them from the potential of snow storage? The only reason why I'm asking is because we don't get too much snow around here.
Yeah, in the original submittal, we didn't provide any calculations on how we sized the snow storage. It was
Yep.
basically wherever there was some extra room where snow storage would fit, we provided it. That being said, we did show some storage here, which now isn't feasible because of the building and the driveway.
Right.
There is, so I made those areas smaller here and here. Realistically, there is more room here where you could extend the snow storage behind here and over here. And I think there's plenty of room on the site where there is room to put the snow. In addition, over here, there isn't any reason they couldn't go all the way up, pile up snow against a tree line over here.
I think you
against
should
that
show
embankment.
that. Just because
Yeah.
where you're taking out from one, you should just identify it on the plan
Provide
for us,
additional.
which would be great.
Okay.
I put that down as a potential condition.
Yeah, that's great. That's easy enough.
Any other questions?
So if you feel like approving this, I have 3 conditions. One that, a drainage basin or collector be identified and approved by the Board of Health for the equipment storage. Floor drain, I guess we'll call it. That any new lighting on the new building will have cutoffs, and that they identify a replacement storage, snow storage area. And then I'll put that they have to submit revised plans showing these things.
I think with those conditions, I'm pretty good with that, Mr. Chair. I don't think there's any other issues there that I can think of.
It's a good project.
It's a great project. The building looks great, guys. They're a really great job.
Yeah, it's coming together quick.
Yeah, they've done a fabulous job on getting it in, and
Yeah, they're hoping to have it paved before, have the base course down before the winter, but they were ready to go, and a big storm
Huh.
came in, a rainstorm, and then a snowstorm, and it just didn't happen.
It's just been storming since then.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great addition to the community, but.
All right,
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chair, to approve the minor modification to Norfolk Power at, with the conditions outlined by the town planner that we discussed.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much.
Good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
Did you move into town yet?
We are opening a new office down at, we're up next door to Abishan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome. That's great.
Yeah, we're waiting on the rugs to be put down right now. They've come twice and they need it at 80 degrees to stretch the carpets apparently.
Wow.
So the furniture's all in there in boxes. As soon as they get the rug down, we'll be in there.
Nice
It'd
to
be
get
great
an
to have you in
engineer in
town.
town, huh?
It would be very good.
And I think Greg's gonna send out an email with kind of an open house once we get
Oh,
it
good.
put together.
We'll look forward to that.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we finished old business, new business, started other business. I think did we complete planner's notes? Did
No, I got
No,
mine.
planning board notes. Anybody else have any of the planning board members have anything else to say?
I'm all set right now.
All right, we'll go on to, planning note board, no, we'll go to planner's notes.
In your packet, you'll see, and you should take this with you. This is the planning board budget that I signed. I know I showed it to you before. I had to juggle around a little bit. We just kind of, Kathy actually came up with a better way to distribute some of the numbers so they match reality, but the bottom line is the exact same. Also, the town clerk gave me an email that, she hand-delivered to me, so I didn't email it to you, that they're having a free, municipal, the AG's office is having a free workshop on how to adopt bylaws at town meeting. It's on Wednesday, the 26th, if you're interested. Just let her know or me know and we'll hook you up. And then two things coming down the pike, if you will. It looks like there was a submission to the building commissioner for 2 residential units at Carver Market Square or Carver Square. And I had to inform the new owner that he needs to come in front of you, so I believe at the next meeting you're gonna get a receipt of plans for, I think, 2 units. So we're starting to see some activity in that way. Also, I think there's gonna be a pretty good project at Cape Cod Ready Mix. They want to do a, concrete, forming facility similar to MBO. It's a pretty big facility. I guess they bought someone out and they're moving it here. I don't know much more about it. I've seen some draft plans, but I believe they're gonna submit by next Thursday for your next meeting for, special permit, so.
Great.
That's what I got.
New business in town.
Question, Mr. Chair. Discussion, Jack, on, master plan.
Yep.
Where are we sitting with that?
Well, I thought that you guys were gonna do a separate article, and at the next meeting, I'm gonna have your list of articles.
Okay. We have a rough
I
idea.
will tell you
of-
that the building study committee reminded me of that too, that was 3 weeks ago, but they did remind me of that.
All right, correspondence.
That's it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I just didn't wanna forget track of that.
Yep. No
Did you-
correspondence.
No correspondence. Well, we're down to the end of other business to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, and a second to adjourn. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.